Now, we've been having a chance to talk with many of the candidates who will be seeking your vote in the upcoming primary and general election. Among them, Alan Blackmon, who currently works with the Chelan County Prosecutor's Office, who's seeking election to the bench, the Chelan County District Court bench, a seat that's being vacated by Nancy Harmon. Welcome to the program, Alan.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Now, you and I have known each other for quite a long time, since
Yes.
I moved up here back in '91, and you've been in the court system for at least that long.
Well, I've been in the prosecutor's office for, since 1996. I've passed the bar in '92, but I've been back in our valley as a prosecutor for going to be 22 years in the fall.
Now, you have been primarily concerned with juvenile court matters, haven't you been in the past?
Currently, but I started my career first off as a domestic violence prosecutor in 1996. That's my primary jobs was in district court as a domestic violence prosecutor. Then I split my time between district court and juvenile court for probably about the next 16 to 17 years, and in the last 4 years I've been primarily in juvenile court as well as mental health court that we have here as well. But I have had a lot of experience in district court, 16 to 17 years in that court. So although currently I'm in juvenile court, I have a large quantity of experience in the court that I'm seeking election for.
In fact, you actually ran for a bench seat there in a prior election, didn't you?
Right, I did that in 2006. I'm here now, so I did not win that. I just heard a lot of things on the campaign trail that I was just too young, even though I was 41 years old at the time, but we're giving it a shot again.
Okay. Let's talk about your background and how you started in the legal profession. Let's start out with your schooling. You're a native of the Wenatchee area.
I am. I attended kindergarten through grade school, through junior high and high school, graduated from Wenatchee High School in 1983, and all those schools were in Wenatchee. I went to Wenatchee Valley College for 1 year. I had been admitted to University of Washington, but I had bought a car when I was a senior in high school and needed to pay off that car, and my folks said I had to pay off that car on my own, so I took a job and worked went to school at Wenatchee Valley College for a year, then went off to University of Washington, from there Syracuse University in New York. Took the bar here and in California, which I'm a member of both, and I've been back here since '96 as our office.
Interesting. Now let's talk about your again your background with the prosecutor's office, and how do you see that translating or helping you in the skills that you'll need as a judge?
Well, thanks, Steve. And actually, I think it'll transition quite well. The United States Supreme Court and the Washington State Supreme Court look at us as a prosecutor as a quasi-judicial officer, and really, if we're doing our job properly, we're not just there to seek a conviction, but we're rather there to seek justice and to make sure everybody's rights are protected in that courtroom, as well as the defendant's rights. We want to make sure that the law enforcement officers or the state, the court, or even their own attorney is not violating their rights, as well as watching out for the victims too, because they have rights as well. And so as a prosecutor, our duty is to seek justice. We don't want to get any convictions of individuals who are innocent, so we want to make sure we prosecute those who are guilty, but make sure the innocent are free as well. And as my job as a prosecutor, I believe that transfers very well to the bench.
Very good. Obviously, you're familiar with district court and its revenue-generating role in Chelan County as well.
Yes, it. I don't want to use the word cash cow, but it does sustain itself. It does a pretty good job in making money, and that's part of job as the judge plus the administrator, is to make sure the finances are being handled properly. Way back when I was a small business owner, and so I do have a little bit of financial experience regarding that. But we want to make sure that our monies that are being spent and earned there in the county are being distributed properly.
Okay. Let's talk about the district court. Again, the differences between district court and superior court.
And Superior Court is our court of general jurisdiction, and so they see all cases and controversies that occur in our state to which they have jurisdiction for. District court is a little bit different. It's called the court of limited jurisdiction, and it hears cases and controversies on the civil matters. If it's $100,000 or less, they'll hear our traffic infraction matters, misdemeanors and gross misdemeanors, which means they have a punishment of 1 year or less than 1 year, 364 days or less, and $5,000 fine or less as penalties. Superior Court hears felonies, so that's punishment of 1 year or greater. Superior Court also will handle all parenting plans, divorces, foreclosures, things like that that district court does not do.
Now, in district court, do you also have jury trials as they have in Superior Court?
We do have jury trials. There's a six-person panel, as opposed to 12-person in Superior Court, and so we do have jury trials there in district court, and I have handled an awful lot of those in my career.
I know in the past, caseload and the overburdened court has been an issue. As I understand that has been lessened somewhat in the last few years.
It is. It's slowly going down. We're seeing that in juvenile court and in district court. Our caseloads are dropping. Superior Court, I think right now our numbers might be slightly up. I'll have to check on that. But district court caseload is coming down. When I was doing it 4 years ago, our caseloads are rather high. I've handled well over 10,000 cases in that court, so I'm well aware of the number of cases you have, but it is slightly dropping.
Okay. Are there any issues right now that you see coming down the pike for district court?
Well, one thing that we're going to try to do that I've been assisting on, I don't want to say I'm in the forefront of it, but is a mental health court or a mental health diversion program where we take individuals who are mentally ill that are in the jail and they might be there as a result of a criminal trespass or something like that, and we're working with Catholic Charities, who is our mental health provider in our community, to do a mental health diversion to get these people out of the criminal justice system and out of the jail to get them services in the community, which they have. We're hopeful to start that really soon. Myself, along with Eric Skansgard at Catholic Charities, as well as the district court judges we have now, have really been at the forefront of getting this going. That's
interesting, because I know that Chelan, Douglas, Grant, and Okanagan counties are going to be teaming up on this new Parkside Center. Is that basically how you're going to be working with mental health in getting these people helped?
Not quite. I currently do mental health commitments under Revised Code of Washington 7105. That's where we have an individual who, as a result of their mental health disease, are a risk to themselves or risk to others, or what we call grave disability. And so we have those hearings. Actually, I don't want to toot my own horn again, but myself with Eric Skansgard and the Office of Linda Evans Parlett and Confluence Health was fantastic. We got the law changed to allow mental health patients to be, I don't want to say committed, but treated here at Confluence Health, which was just fantastic for our community. And so we currently, although Parkside is a placement facility. We're not using them yet. We're right now using Confluence Health. Right. But the diversion program we have in mind, they may be residing there at Parkside, or more probably appropriately, maybe back in the community under intense supervision with Confluence Health or other mental health, or excuse me, Confluence Health, Catholic Charities, and other mental health providers to get them the treatment they need in the community.
Having worked in the courts for so long, Alan, mental health is a huge issue, and so often they find themselves in the legal system.
It's gigantic. I don't think the public really understands the need we have for mental health services here, and the opportunities that we can have to get the people that are in the jails out, for the ones that are appropriate. We're not talking about violent offenders or felons or anything like that. We're talking about our misdemeanor level offenses.